Good morning, YouTubers. Welcome to Morning Coffee with Mike. 'Tis I, Mike Martins. Welcome to Morning Coffee. And I want to talk a little bit this morning about what's happening in the markets with these repo buybacks. What they're doing is to me, it seems like people are asking, what's the angle? What's the end point of it? What's the answer to what's going on? I'm thinking this is just a guess. They're using the repo markets. They're buying back. Imagine like this: buying back the repo markets get paid off, and debts get paid off through corporations, and then they reborrow more money to add more liquidity I think it's every day. Imagine refinancing your mortgage every day. That's what it's like. That's what they're doing. It's like refinancing your car loan every single day. And this is what I'm thinking is happening. They're doing this to put more pressure via the money markets to force them not to lower interest rates. I'm thinking that's what they're trying to do. I think it's almost like, if you look at the mathematics behind it is very complex, but if you look at the mathematics behind it, they're trying to have a gold-backed currency without the gold, is what they're trying to do with this. I know it doesn't sound normal, or it doesn't sound correct, but think about it. They're trying to create like the cash, the liquidity itself is the backing on the transit value of the repos. I don't know how to explain this because it's really complicated. I think it takes someone in scientific economics of ingenious mathematics to actually really see the source and the pinpoint the because there's just too much variance going on when it comes to this, right? So now the problem is a good portion of Europe is in negative equity territory, but the thing is, it's because negative rates. What it does is it creates negative values, right? Negative savings, negative prosperity, negative fundamentals in the bonds, negative fundamentals in the dollar, negative fundamentals in everything. So if you're looking at that way, people are saying, well, Mike, negative interest rates might be good because I might get money back for my mortgage. Well, the thing is, everything else goes down with it, right? So the housing market will go down with it, right? Everything will go down with it eventually into negative territory. It creates a massive amount of stagnation. Things don't move. Wages never go up. Wages never go up anyway, right? So it's kind of scary. This whole repo buyback, for me, in my opinion, is it could be so that they don't go into negative interest rates, right? I got to get uneducated economist on the show. I got to get him on the show again. I'm going to get him probably on trends in the housing market. If he's not busy, I'm going to ask him if he could come on for trends in the housing market this Wednesday. I really, because he's talking a lot about negative rates and negative interest rates. But like the fundamentals, the basic fundamentals, we get it. It's kind of, well, trying to explain it to somebody for the first time, it's like, what? You know what I'm saying? And trying to explain the inverted yield rates, it's okay. Somebody asked me about they still don't understand the inverted yield rates. Guys, it's like this. It's like this, okay? Inverted yield rates. Let's say you have, I'm not even going to use I'm going to be very basic. You have a 10-year investment with the maturity of 1% after 10 years of whatever money you put in, okay? Okay. But you might get 2% with a 1-year investment, which is better return. That's what I'm just trying to basically say that. So look at it like that, guys. It's like, what? These are indicators of a recession. We've been in a recession for a while now. We've been in a recession for a long time, guys. I'm sorry. We have been. I'm not trying. We're in an economic recession, okay? We have been in retail recession. We have been in a retail recession for a while. Economic recession. Retail recession. production, what is it? Production recession, and we haven't. Our production is low. Employment, we're in an employment lows, so that's triggering. Our exports are in a recession. The trade wars are helping. If anything, trade wars, if they want to go into trade wars, the way out of it, and we've talked about this on the show, is just to back your currency with something trinsic like gold, right? Instead of creating this temporary liquidity with this repo buyback, repo buyback, debt buyback thing. Imagine refinancing your mortgage every month or every week or every day. That's what you're doing with that. It just doesn't add up. It adds up, yes, I get it. What they're trying to do, I think, in my opinion, is to create a trinity, like actually have it backed by gold, but not have it backed by gold, but have it backed by the liquidity. If any of that even makes any sense, I don't think it does. But comment below and let me know. But we're in a production recession. Right, we're seeing it. We're in a manufacturing recession. We're seeing it in the auto sector. We're in retail recession. Small businesses are very important. I keep talking about this. These public sector jobs in the small businesses are absolute private sector jobs. Private sector jobs are very important. Remember what I said, guys? I said this like a year ago and a few months ago again. Private sector is what funds the public sector. Now, the more public sector jobs we create, it means nothing. All it means is that there's going to be more red tape and more mesh, more bureaucracy in the private sector. It makes it hard for the private sector to operate when there's more public sector jobs, right? Because you're going to have more police. Oh, I'm on my way to work. I'm going to make $1,000. Now I'm going to miss out on you because of you. It's small things like that, and big things like that add up. Like where they add another layer of tax on, and you got to get your accountant and pay him more money. It just adds more gridlock. It adds more red tape, and it's something we want to avoid is more government. We don't need so much government. If that makes sense to you guys, we don't need so much government. Alright, so we're going to grab our coffee this morning. I want to thank my Patreon supporters. My goal is to get to 20 Patreon supporters by Christmas. That's my goal, people. Yeah, so I don't know if this makes sense to what I'm telling you guys. I don't think it does. But what I'm trying to say here is the whole repo buyback thing is to create trinity, or like a backed currency in a way, where liquidity... A daily liquidity injection and a buyback is basically creating that temporary liquidity, and that's why you're seeing the American dollar get strong. The euro isn't getting weaker, nor is the Canadian dollar. They're just falling to the American dollar, right? So I don't think what I'm saying is right, but I just want your kind of feedback on this, because this is very important, because I think now they're binging on doing what they can not to go negative. I think they're binging in all their power and in all sincerity to not go negative. And with them now shaking up the money markets, which I said months ago, they're gonna start shaking up the money markets and creating liquidity somehow. And that repo buyback thing, I don't know if it's happened before. I don't know. But they give it a different names. Quantitative easing, they're calling it a different name. Hi, extra large dark roast with 1 cream.
Anything else?
That's it, thank you.
240.
All right. Instead of calling it QE, they're calling it something now, so people are confused, right? So they're like thinking, wait a minute, I thought we were booming right now. Why do we need QE if we're booming, right? But man... Oof. Yeah, stock market's not in a recession though. It's still ticking along, but we're going to start to see some drops. We saw some drops last week, quite a bit of drop. I know what's happening in the markets when I look at my portfolio. I don't even need to. I can just look at where I'm at for the day, and I know that silver or gold is up, or I know what's trending down. I could tell you what VIX is at. Hi. Good. How are you today? Hi, everybody. Have a good day. Bye. Yeah, I could tell you what VIX is at without even looking at it anymore. You gotta watch. The thing is with VIX, you gotta watch it like a hawk, right? That's the problem with VIX. You gotta watch it. I think it usually tends to trends. It usually trends with when gold rallies. You see VIX go up, the VIX market. So just be careful with that, guys. The volatility in the markets. Just be super careful, okay? When trading VIX. But it's been super volatile lately, and that will come to an end soon. Once the injection of liquidity and the rejection and the injection. Imagine refinancing your mortgage every day, every week, every month. Imagine. It's like it's more than a full-time job. You'll have to. I don't even know how that would be like such yeah. It would be such a burden on your life. It would be a burden lifestyle. Come on, the guy in front of me needs to get his license, man. Yeah, the guy's flashing his lights behind me. I can't do nothing. The guy in front of me is going 10 kilometers. It's not even 3 miles an hour. Yeah, the guy, I don't know why the guy keeps flashing me from behind. I'm just going to move to the side so he can see there's a car ahead of him. There you go. This way he sees a car in front of me. Yeah, people, get your license so you can do the speed limit, you know? Jeez. Get your licenses, folks, so you can do the speed limit. But, yeah, injecting the liquidity, propping that up for the day, and then rebuying it and propping it up for the day and rebuying. It's an interesting method. I knew they were going to shake up the money markets. I just didn't know what they were going to do. And that's why, smoke and mirrors, we don't know what it's going to do. You see, they don't want to lower interest rates right now in the U.S. They're trying not to. Because, well, they want to give the representation of the powerful economy, right? This powerful jobs, the powerful this, the powerful that. You got to look at the U numbers. Back in the day, I think it was during World War, just after, maybe a few years after World War II, they'd be looking at the U numbers, the actual numbers of employment via payroll and who's actually making money, right? Because the government started really tracking payroll because a lot of employers weren't paying. They were deducting the taxes from people. They were deducting taxes from people back in the 40s and 50s, but they weren't readmitting it to the federal government. So the government started tracking everybody's payroll after that very closely, like a hawk on a rat or a hawk on a mouse in a cornfield, you know. So a lot of things. The government always our silent partner always wants his money, right? And then we got Francois Lapini. It's a very the Duke that's on the channel there that's always calling me out in the comment section and leaving links below to show people how I'm always wrong about everything. But that's why Francois Lapini, I think he's in the comments there. He'll probably comment on something. His avatar is him on a canoe. Is a very powerful person. He is an archduke in France. He is also titled as a baron. And he does have student loans, though, that make him so intelligent. But people, you need to know that this channel is created for discussion, not answers. We discuss in depth to find answers. We discuss in detail to create answers or to create, I'm scared to throw an idea out there on how they could get more liquidity in the market without getting more liquidity in the markets and propping up the markets without propping up the markets. I'm scared to throw ideas out there. They might just damn use them, you know? I'm serial. I'm freaking serial, guys. But it's kind of interesting. I'm very interested to see where things are headed. I'm not kidding. I am in huge interest to see where things head, where things are trending towards. I know where they're trending towards. I think that if they lower rates again, they're going to take away the buffer of hedging against an emergency. So there's no buffer there. So when you don't have a buffer there to hedge against an emergency, guess what happens? You're in trouble. Because lowering rates is the last tool in your toolbox that you want to pull out when it comes to I guess, gauging economic or manipulating economic checks and balances. The last thing you want is to lower rates. That's the dead last thing you want, is to lower rates, because it just takes the value out of the country. It takes the value out of the strength of the country. It takes the value out of people. It destroys people's morale. They're not getting paid in their bank accounts like they used to. I mean, there's a lot of things happening, folks. And putting your pulse on where it's going or how it's attributing to, it's just going to screw us in the end. That's all it is. And I'm just scared of the whole civil unrest. I'm scared of the I'm just scared. I'm scared of social unrest. I'm not too scared of, but social unrest could get serious in time. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. The building across the street never sold. The building was for sale across the street. It never sold. I was forced out of there at a bad time in my life, especially with my dad passing away, trying to get this store moved over. Still for sale. They keep doing environmental tests on the soil in the back. Everybody walks away from the deal quicker than people fleeing from a tsunami. I'm not kidding. People find out what's going on with that building, they're like, goodbye. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I would like to know. And guys, don't forget to check out on my channel. The merit harassment series has been getting a lot of views lately. That section of the channel is really picking up. And there's a creator for Netflix, this guy. I think he's in North Carolina, and basically they get ideas, and the merit harassment is like actually an idea that they have to do a 6 or a 9-part series for Netflix. It's in their idea bin. It's not approved, but I spoke to somebody again for the second time, and I'm like, this is good stuff. This is really good stuff, because we need to find out who Murray Gilroy is. We need to find out who Diane Bronson is. Y2K Trucker, Alfred. What's that other one? I don't want to say the name because it's going to flag my channel. There's a lot of tomfooleries going on here. So we need to find out who this is. And I'm getting blamed for doing this. I'm getting blamed for doing this stuff. So, and don't forget to check out my cease and desist video, guys. Let me know what you guys think. It's the weekend. I usually tape it on the window when I'm closed, because it's good for people to know, like what's going on and what is going on. And I think it's good that people create awareness of because I don't want to hide, right? There's no reason in hiding for this. There's no reason to hide, right? Because I think I'm not breaking any laws talking about it. I don't think yet, I backed up the whole merit harassment series on 3 different computers. So if my channel gets taken down in the future or whatever, I could always put it up on different social media sites just to get it out there, But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I would like to know, what's happening in the markets, what's happening in the retail. We're in a retail recession. We're in a production recession. We're in an export recession. And we need to confront this stuff, right? Then you're going to get Francois Lapini, put something at the bottom of the discussion to say that I'm wrong about everything, and that, that it's watches my channel more for a laugh and this and that. I don't know. I think I'm living the life I want to live. I work on my own accord. I kind of enjoy what I do, and that's my key to retirement and success is, you never feel like you're working when you're enjoying what you do, guys. All right, I'm talking too much. Have a great day. Let me know. Comment below.